cab. It's actually a single cab with a little space in the back, the super cab or whatever it's called. So yeah, I could have probably found something in Cape Town closer to home, but the people that are advertising this vehicle, the Ford, are pretty interested in my BMW that we're driving in now. Show you the back. So this is a 1 Series, 2007 1 Series E87 130i, and this is a straight 6 3-liter. It's an MSPORT. You can see that. M leather seats, M spec wheels, M suspension. Straight 6 3-liter manual. Actually rated at 195 kilowatts, believe it or not. Naturally aspirated, no turbo. Okay, let's go. She goes, put it to that way. She's got quite a bit of kilometers on. We're looking at 193,000. So yeah, but if you know anything about straight 6 BMWs, especially the older ones, the naturally aspirated ones, they are really reliable if you look after them. I mean, this is a real low stress engine. It's not no forced induction doing anything weird. In terms of fuel consumption, let's just have a look here. So this is from Cape Town, and we've got an average fuel consumption of 9.7 liters per 100 kilometers. So I want to say this is if you drive it properly, she can be quite reliable. But as I said, these people are quite interested in my vehicle, and they're actually offering me quite a amount close to what I was initially looking at. Now, you must take into consideration, well, I must take into consideration that this is a dealership and not a private seller, so they've obviously got to still make a profit when they sell this vehicle. Therefore, the price is not the same that I was hoping to get on the as on the private market if I were to just sell it myself, right? So I'll put a little insert in of what my car was advertised for, so you can get an idea. And I got something close to that. And funny thing I noticed, like in Cape Town, car dealerships actually wanted to offer me like almost half of that amount for my vehicle. And like I said, this place is like 4 hours away. Okay, so this is the first stop I've made after I posted the video earlier. I actually did about 333 kilometers now, and just want to quickly show you the car, the bugs. That's basically it. You can get an idea. Yeah, just want to show the car, and we're off. Another 80 kilometers to go, and then we'll see what happens. Dude and dudette. So what happened? My poor BMW was goodbye, and we've now got a Ford Ranger. Can you believe it? In white, and she is a club cab. super cab, whatever you want to call it. 2.2 base model, nothing major, you know, not a wild track, nothing like that. But she looks good, she drives well. And I'll show you something cool as well. Go on this side. Ow, ow. Look at this. Boom, she's got suicide doors. Suicide doors. So flippin' cool. But anyway, we're gonna stop at a better spot and have a proper break. Okay. Actually, let's just jump in now. And there we go. So far I've done, I'm going to show you something interesting. I've done 129 kilometers thus far. And look at the average kilometers, average economy. 7.2 liters per 100 kilometers. That is wonderful compared to the BMW. So, yeah. I'll chat a bit later when I find a better place to pull over. Okay, so we're still cruising. The scenery is pretty nice where I'm driving through right now. Look at those mountains. I'm seeing all sorts of little waterfalls coming down these mountain valleys, but you probably can't see them because the GoPro has no zoom. But otherwise, we're still constant. We're looking at 7.3 at the moment liters per 100 kilometers, and we're still rolling. We're still having at the time of our lives out here. I still haven't stopped for lunch yet. I'm still looking for a nice spot. These hills are just rolling up and down, and it's so spectacular. This is not the route that I took to get here, so I'm enjoying the different scenery compared to what I had when I drove up here this morning. But yeah, I'm still looking out for a good place to pull over. As you know, this land is private land, so it's very tough to find just a nice public spot to secluded and public to just hang out. Oh, phone's ringing. Let's see, chat later. And we're still cruising. I just want to show you the scenery. Look at that. Look at those mountains. Pretty crazy, eh? So far we're in 350 kilometers. Hopefully you can see that. Wow. The Ford is going. She's going. The turbo's whistling. Whistling diesel. When I'm at a friend's house and I know it's nowhere there. When my kids are around, I use microdose.
Yeah, microdosing is good. Microdosing, I think, is the future. I think a lot of people go microdosing because it doesn't affect your cognitive ability in terms of like affect your judgment or affect the way you talk, the way you behave, but it elevates you. Terence McKenna is the guy who has this theory called the stoned ape theory. And his brother Dennis is still alive. His brother Dennis is brilliant. And his brother Dennis is a legitimate scientist, and explained in the podcast why it makes sense. And the theory is there's a real mystery in the development of the human species. And the mystery is the doubling of the brain over a period of 2 million years. And it's unprecedented in the fossil record. There's like, they've looked at all these different animals and how things changed and evolved, and a lot of things are wild, but to see a brain double in size over a relatively small period of time in terms of the fossil record, 2 million years is not that much of a time for something to change so radically. And there's all these theories of why the human brain doubled. Some people think it was hunting. It was maybe the throwing arm, learning how to throw things, and then developing projectiles and weapons. Some people think that it was eating meat and learning how to cook it, and that learning how to cook it made the nutrients more bioavailable, and it made people ingest more protein. And then there's this possibility of eating. There's also weird theories, and they don't all hold up. You know, they're all theories, but the big one is mushrooms. And it's a real controversial one because, first of all, mushrooms is a silly subject to a lot of academics. When they start thinking about the possibility of the brain doubling in size because of what they think of as a party drug. The problem is a lot of these guys have never really truly experienced a breakthrough mushroom experience. And if you have, you start going, okay, what is this? And what is happening? And maybe this is how human beings develop. Because what McKenna said is that the period that the human brain doubled, I'm sorry if I'm butchering this, guys, the period that the human brain doubled coincides with the period that the rainforest receded into grasslands. So as the climate changed, because, you know, throughout, we talk about climate change today, but climate's changed throughout history too. The climate change today, the man-made climate change is a concern, but what I'm saying is that throughout the history of the Earth, there's been radical shifts in the climate, and they resulted in all these changes. Like the Sahara Desert used to be this great, vast grasslands and green, filled with trees and shit. Well, at one point in time, the rainforest receded into grasslands, and the human beings had to come down from the tree, and they weren't human. There's the different pre-humans, and they came down from the trees and they started experimenting with new food sources. And one of the things that the ability to connect sounds to ideas and to express those things. So the idea is that these pre-humans ate these mushrooms over, you know, a period of 2 million years, and their fucking brains grew.
That makes sense to me. Like,
it does make sense.
Everything you said makes sense, because when I said taking them, I take yoga, like, for fun, and I've been taking for the last 2 years microdoses, and sometimes I eat a little more when I'm alone. And your brain shows things like all the pathways that, you know, by stress or, you know, bad food or punches or whatever, you get, like, the blood don't flow. The microdose make that go.
Yeah.
And then when you take a little bit and you feel like kind of high, it's when it's actually working your brain.
Yeah.
So, but it's also caught with what you say. It's a party drug for ignorant people. Like they're like,
well, it's fun. I mean, I think people they take it because it's fun, and it's not bad to have fun. You know, and mushrooms, even though you're taking it to have fun, sometimes people they learn things from those experiences. But I think if you want to be using them correctly, you should use them with reverence. You should think, you know, when you're microdosing, it's one thing. You're taking and it's enhancing your day. But if you're going to sit down and really have a trip, I think you should do it in a way
to set an intention.
Yeah, you set an intention, and you do it in a way where you give some respect to what you're about to experience. Because what you're about to experience is wholly alien.
It's alien. You go far.
Alien to this world.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
When you see like the walls close in and change patterns and things flow through, and you start to experience entities staring at you from other dimensions.
You get answers, and you also have questions when you do that.
And you start seeing what the apocalyptic doing with the earth, wild shit.
Yeah. But you have to set an intention. If you just do it for fun, then you don't learn from it. But I smoked DMT not a while ago. have an intention.
Yes. What was your intention?
I literally, before I smoked it, I was like, okay, I wanna be present. I don't wanna be focused too much in the outside. Because when you get a certain point in a fighting career, it's not just fighting. There's a lot that comes with it, and you gotta know how to handle it. And I was just thinking to myself, I wanna be better at this. I wanna focus on who I am, not in the outside. I wanna be, of course, a better fighter, a better husband, blah blah blah. And then I was like, I just wanna be better all the road. I wanna be chill. I wanna be happy as I am, and I just take a rip. And the more authentic you are, the more you are yourself.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than that.
We're
No, there's nothing
heading
better
back to
than
Cape
that. And you start
Town.
thinking about what other people are saying, and other people are saying about you, and what their opinions are. It
Oh, that truck was
fucks
dodgy,
with your
right?
own perceptions, because it changes how you behave and think, because you're thinking about their opinions. And sometimes their criticism is valid. I'm not dismissing that the criticism is not valid, but if you take in too much of that over and over again, there's too much noise. It's not good. Like, I know when and I'm sure you do too, you're an intelligent person, and you're also a dedicated person who is hell-bent on becoming better. When you're that person, you're always objective and trying to be objective and analyzing. That's why you said, like, I want to be a better husband, I want to be a better father, I want to be a better fighter. That should be all of our intent. Whatever you're trying to do in life, you should always be trying to get better at it. Because as a human, we're flawed and weird and messy. And
That's your foundation.
yeah, and your chemicals in your brain, they shift constantly, and you're not always exactly the same person. I'm a different person all the time. I'm a different person if I haven't had sleep. I'm a different person if I'm under stress. I'm a different person if I haven't worked out.
And all those things also happen. It's like how you handle those things is what make you get to the finish line.
Yeah, but you can't take in too much external opinions.
You can.
You have to be able to know whether you're fucking up and how to get better.
And that's exactly what separates you from the crowd. If you know that, if you get to like know yourself that much that you know what's real and what's just cloud,
Yeah.
it will take you way longer.
Okay, so we're on the final stretch, about 100 kilometers left before we go to Cape Town. Just having a quick stop, water break, stretching the legs, and look at that. Suicide doors. That's my baby.